Hello, viewers. Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. I wanted to address a viewer request. Can America be restored to a republic? Before I start pulling tarot cards, I'd like to pull from the Colette Baron Reid Wisdom of the Oracle because I just want to get some broad, big picture cards, and then we'll start to drill down with the tarot more specifically. So let's start. Can America be restored to a republic? Now, the meaning of the word republic is everyone's equal. That no one is above the law. That it's not a monarchy. It's an elected representative. And this is really a republic. Is probably one of the strongest versions of a democracy. It's based on equality. So what we're seeing now in America is challenging their republic, and the question coming forward: can it be restored? Is a very good one, or is there a new model? Is there something else that's emerging? So, in the UK, for example, it's quite possible that they will, for the first time, have to have coalitions. That is what's happened in now. Where was it? Let me see. Was it in Europe? The far right winged party was kept out of power by a coalition between the centre parties and the centre left parties. Or the right wing centres. More conservative parties and the left-wing parties. So are we kind of seeing a coming together, a unity between different parties? Now, I'm not sure that that's going to work in America, but what could be occurring is that rather than this polarised view, there could be a move back to centre politics. But that's not the question. The question is, can America, can America as a republic be restored? Can the America as a republic be restored? Can America as a republic be restored? It's going to take time. TikTok is the first card that I pulled, and that was the impression that I've got. So I guess I won't sugarcoat it. As I was about to draw these cards, I felt a weight, a very, very a heavy weight. It's going to take time and it's going to take incredible work. But TikTok is this is the number 3, so there's going to need to be creative solutions. What this card is telling me is that the old ways won't work anymore, and that whoever leads you in the future will have to find a middle path as well as a creative path, and all of this is going to take time. Go the distance, absolutely. That is a wonderful card to pull because this is showing me that the Republic of America will be able to go the distance. It's strong enough to go the distance. It's innovative enough to go the distance. Number 4 and 7, this is foundations, and 7, building on the lessons learned to strengthen the foundations. That's lovely. I'm glad these cards are being pulled. And poised, I feel this is where you are right now, because of the just the magnitude of lessons that have come forward for you, the information that you've gathered in a short time. Where is all that going to be? You're poised to take that forward and to use that, and again to build that. Number 48, to build again, to strengthen the foundations, not to repeat what was there, because I don't think it's possible to do that. New ways will have to be found, but this is nevertheless poised on the tipping point to rebuild. So I'm glad I pulled those cards. At the base of this pack is number 11, By the Book, and something that I've been thinking about quite strongly is that the laws will be strengthened as a result of I guess the current pushing of the law to the edge. It's you're going to go back. You're going to go back to the rule of law, and you've seen how important that rule of law is. So I'm just going to leave those three cards out. I'm going to bring the laptop down, and we're going to drill down here a little bit on this and see what the tarot has to say. Okay. All right, tick-tock, time, things improving in time. Can America... Actually, I will pull a Celtic cross, so we'll just leave these over here as signifier cards. Going the distance. It's a question of time, poised for change. I think they're pretty good cards to sum up what's happening now. Okay, so can America be restored to a republic? Can America be restored to a republic? Is it possible for America to be restored to a republic where equality is the dominant theme? Everyone's equal. No one's above anyone else. No one's certainly above the law. Is it possible for America to be restored to a republic? For democracy to be restored? Is it possible? America, a republic. All right, let's see. Yes, I'm so glad I pulled that card. It would have been, as a signifier card, the Sun card, which is happiness, joy, illumination, and an absolute yes card. It would have been very disappointing to pull something else. The challenge, though, is the ending of one cycle and the start of another. And because this is the last card in the major arcana, this is showing me that America's journey was always going to undergo someone like Trump. It was always going to be challenged, and it was always going to learn from the lessons. However, that is still in the challenged position. So you've got to close down this cycle. That is the challenge. You've actually got to close down this cycle and learn from it. Right now, it seems like the cycle won't end, but it is coming to an end, and you've got to bring it to an end. And the way you're going to bring that to an end is through illumination. And I don't even think this is about borders. I don't even think this is about borders and countries. This is about the world, and it's about what America sets as an example for the rest of the world to follow, and hence that's the challenge. And hence that's why I'm sitting here in Australia doing this reading for you. Okay, let's go to the foundation of the reading, time, tick-tock, but also this was a karmic and a destiny. Look what three major arcanas I've pulled here. Incredible cards to come out so early in the reading. But this is also things changing for the better, I'm happy to say. Three major arcanas, the Sun, the World, the Wheel of Fortune. Now, in the past, we've got unity with this Two of Cups, but it's also deals. It's also who has combined with who, and what do they expect. So these are partnerships that have been highlighted in the past, and the partnerships, unfortunately, that challenge the Republic, partnerships with dark money and politics. This is also a threat from overseas countries like Russia. And this was the huge challenge. The oligarchs contributing to campaigns, or dark money in DC contributing to political campaigns, that's nothing new. This is just the culmination of a set of conditions. It's around your choice of leader, and this is what this King of Cups energy that I keep talking about, this supportive, nurturing energy, almost like you don't expect a parent to do the wrong thing by you. This is a leader that rules through support for other people, and that's the potential future. That's the kind of leadership you're moving into, after the kind of leadership that you've seen, which is nearly destroyed. Or not nearly destroyed, because you were always going to go the distance. but a leader who has shaken the foundations of your republic. Okay, let's have a look at what's in the near future here. Okay, suffice to say, the Nine of Swords is about anxiety. But one of the ways that we can't live in this perpetual state of anxiety. We understand we've got a problem, and this is the motivator to do something about it. Right now, you're getting these revelations, and it's for the Republic at the macro level. These revelations are around people being brave enough to come forward and tell the truth. But at the individual level, all of this, as we are watching this, we're changing ourselves, because a republic is made up of people, and a republic is made up of equal people. So whatever you're feeling right now, whatever insights you're gaining, is contributing to the eventual outcome. The environment that this has created are new starts, and it's caused us to think about what about our connection in the world, about our focus on a monetary connection. In order, using money and the pursuit of money and greed and wealth, and as our to bolster our security and trust in the world. Well, the lesson that we're learning is it's been flipped on its head. The same, someone like Donald Trump, who is a supposed billionaire, jury's out on that. But this focus on that a businessman could take the republic forward is the lesson that is being learned and seen in graphic detail right now. The hopes and the fears, as I said, this is closing down one cycle and beginning another. This is judgment, and this is an inevitable conclusion. And this card comes forth when there is no getting out of the change that has had to occur. And the outcome card, you're going to be, the work is going to be needed for quite some time. You're poised to do the work, but right now you're carrying a heavy load, and you will carry a load for some time, because the Tower is meant to shake the structures up. Going back to the rule of law is really important here, because in order to see where you've got to go, you've got to see how far you've strayed from that. And we've got the Emperor, and Trump is teaching the lesson. But it's also about who you cede your control over to. Again, will the Republic be maintained? It'll be maintained when you come together. And so this is an initial card here in the past about allowing partnerships to form between politicians and your representatives and big money, at the expense of the partnership between the politicians and you, which is fundamental to a representative democracy. You're going to have to take back control, and there's going to be significant work required. However, we've got the Nine of Cups, which is the wish fulfillment card. There is something about the Wheel of Fortune, the Sun card, the World card, the King of Cups turning up there, which tells me that this isn't the smug merchant, this is wish fulfillment, this is miracles happening. The Lost card as well, with this Three of Swords, this is what's going on right now. And we've got the Knight. I'll keep going. The Knight of Cups, the offering there. In the past, the offering was someone like Trump, and there was a seduction there. For a lot of people, maybe not my viewers, but for reasonable thinking people, it will be, if I had a penny for every time I heard, it'll be good to have a businessman running the US. I heard that in Australia in 2016, not a politician, a businessman. There was a level of seduction there, a level of, people being hoodwinked and drawn into something, and really what they were drawn into was always going to end like this. And we've got the Fool and the New Beginnings. So I think really what I see in this spread is that the Republic will will be maintained. It's going to take a lot of work, but the lessons are here, and I do get a real draw that in time. In time it will be restored, but there will be a greater emphasis on the rule of law. So I feel that even now there is a manifestation toward tackling the problem of these partnerships, these money in politics, for example, but also understanding, strengthening the foundations of the republic, and the way that will be done. And I have to say, at this point in time, I'm getting a real draw to Elizabeth Warren, like it or not. That's just my intuition at this time. Things change. This is somebody who could probably spearhead the legislative reform that will be needed to clean up your politics. I wish we had an Elizabeth Warren in Australia, because it's not just in America, it's in Australia, it's in the UK. But we'll look to you. We'll look to you for reform. So I do believe the reform will come. I'll read on Joe Biden, Elizabeth Warren, and others in a subsequent reading. But for now, that's my viewer request. And there are some positive cards there which are good to see, particularly that sun card. All right, thank you, viewers.